Lottie talked about this actually last week. There's a difference between free and giving your stuff away for free and not getting anything in return. No value exchange. Often when we talk about free, we're worried that it's only a one-way value exchange. But I'm a huge believer in creating small experiences that don't cost anything or are free in return for testimonials or for reviews, because one, I get better and I get to improve, but two, I can share the story. And so creating free experiences for people to come and learn about the game is really important. One, it shows our generosity, and I truly believe in reciprocation, and people will reciprocate. Not everybody, but on the whole, people will. But two, I really believe in this abundance model, that there's enough for everybody. And if we work together and we show our generosity and share, then we'll all get better rather than just being really exclusive and creating too much scarcity. So creating interesting and free experiences to bring people into the room to think about how you market it is really key. Yeah. Kayleigh, you've sort of followed this approach over the last few weeks of your sessions, right? And if I put you on the spot, would you want to share just with the group?
Yeah, it's fine. So I come from a sales background. I was previously the head of sales at a pretty big tourism company in Queenstown. So selling things comes naturally to me. But my problem is giving things away for free. I was a huge believer in time is money, and we are valuable humans. And it wasn't until I actually came on one of these that we talked about giving away things for free and being generous. And I realized that actually that kind of stemmed from when I built the business that I'm running now. It was all around just asking people. I did what I called a listening tour. So I just talked to people about what their pain points were. I wasn't out there selling anything. And that was really challenging for me because I like to sell things. But for me, I was just like, I actually just want to know where your challenges are, what you need in your company, what real things would work, what hasn't worked, what's resonated with you. And from there, this is how I came across ECD. And for me, that kind of evolved into running charity workshops. So I was running workshops in the local community for charity. I'm a big believer of people are much more engaged in something if they have to give something away. So for me, I ran it for $10, and 50% was going to local charity, and the other 50% was just to make sure that they spent their coffee money and were engaged in the session. And like every single opportunity is a bit of a sales pitch. If you've got people in front of you, if you can engage them and keep them and create those experiences, like you were saying, Jeremy, you can get some real champions for what you're doing, and all you need is one person to believe in you. And once you've got that one person, then using them as leverage to connect to their community and the people that they really connect with in the business community or education community, wherever you're pitching your business. One of the biggest challenges for me was I'm so inspired by this tool and what it does and the communication and the conversations that it has, is that I just wanted it to go to everyone all the time. And that for me was the biggest challenge, is actually finding your market, finding your niche was the biggest, and being able to say, actually, that's not something that I'm confident with, but I do know someone else who is confident in that space, and connecting that community on the other side as well. So there's this amazing generosity from giving something away for free and realizing that actually you now have the ability with these new connections to give something away to another business operator or another person that's out there trying to change the world. So for me, realizing that you can't change everyone all the time, and all you need is one person, and that one person can change your business, was pretty revolutionary for me. So I've run 2 free charity events now, one in Queenstown and one in Christchurch, and they've both bought business out of it, some pretty big business, which I I live my life with low expectations. So I go on with low expectations and I'm always constantly surprised by the results. So those are my little things.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, because I was interested to, I've seen it on LinkedIn, obviously, from the outside looking in, but I was intrigued to understand your mindset. And I love that. And that's exactly how I've built this business. But then I think it equally applies for internal audiences. So Edna, where you are with you're marketing it to an internal audience, right? It's not an external person, so to speak. And I think you follow the same approach. Think about how you can create experiences for some people inside the organization, where you invite 6 or 7 leaders to come along and you showcase and demo the game to them. And you only need one of those leaders to go away and say, I want to try it with my team. And you get one team doing it. And then all of a sudden another team. I've seen this happen in government agencies here in Wellington. One team does it. Funnily enough, then the finance team saw it and they wanted to do it. And you think, well, the finance team wouldn't be the second group of people to do this, to go through this game, normally speaking, in organizations, just if you stereotype finance people, which often happens, unfortunately. And then somebody else will want to do it. So creating experiences internally is equally as important as creating experiences externally.